There was some good, there was some bad, and yes, there was some ugly as the Las Vegas Raiders fell 24-17 to the Los Angeles Chargers in week four of the regular season here. This one hurts, definitely. You lose to a division rival early in the season. Aiden O'Connell starting at quarterback, and it wasn't pretty. So today we're going to go through it, our standouts and fizzouts, because everybody has their own edition of winners and losers, risers and fallers. Ours is standouts and fizzouts because players that stood out, and fizzouts because pop. That's right. We think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It needs to replace all water. Why couldn't God just make water pop? Because that's how good it is. Pop, soda, whatever you call it. Let us know what you guys drink in the comment section below. Is it Coke, Mountain Dew, that Diet Dr. Thunder, the Great Value brand, whatever it is, let us know in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So standouts, it's got to be Josh Jacobs, number one. So Josh Jacobs, to me and for my money, was without a doubt probably the best player on the field from a totality standpoint, because the guy had over almost 140 all-purpose yards, had that late touchdown that really put the Raiders back into the conversation. 17 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown, as well as 8 catches, 81 yards. Really was that security blanket for Aiden O'Connell. You can't say any more about the guy. He's really starting to get he's really starting to find some running lanes, and also the offensive line is starting to open some things up in the second half, not the first half. That was rough. Max Crosby, this dude's the leader of the defense. There's really not anything else you can say about the guy. Led the team in tackles with 8. Also had a couple of sacks. He just brings it every single time. It's almost getting boring as to how good Max Crosby is. That's how good Justin Jefferson and Max Crosby. Those are the two players where it's almost boring at how good they are. And I feel bad because I really feel like we need to get some more help for him on the other side. But it is what it is at this point. Trayvon Morg, to me, I think he had one of his best games as a pro. So he had 6 total tackles. Was tied for second place on the team, as well as had that interception of Justin Herbert that really gave the Raiders a little bit of life in the second half. It was good to see. Also, he was pretty solid in coverage. Overall, the secondary, we'll get into them a second, was pretty solid as well, too. Devontae Adams also had himself a really good game. 8 catches, 75 yards. I really liked how Aiden O'Connell, and we'll get into him in a second in fizzouts. Yes, I'm going to spoil it there, but I really liked how Aiden O'Connell was spreading the ball around, getting the ball to playmakers, but overall, I feel bad for guys like Devontae Adams who deserve much better than this. Now, Malcolm Koonce only had 1 tackle on the stat sheet, but his presence was felt all game. I really feel like they have something special in Malcolm Koonce. I think he deserves more snaps. We've been saying it since day one. This guy deserves to get more of an opportunity, and I think he's making the most of it. The secondary. So on the day, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, they went 13 of 24, $167, a touchdown and an interception. That's not great, especially considering the fact that, you had Josh Palmer being a leading receiver with 3 catches for 77 yards. Keenan Allen, 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. So, and Quentin Johnson really was only a catch for 18. So really, really great job by the secondary. There was pressure. That second half defense was fantastic, specifically the run defense. Great transition, Colton. But, to me, this defense really played well throughout the game, minus the first drive. That 50-yard run really kind of killed it. But overall, the second half defense, it put pressure on Justin Herbert. It got an interception. It's first of the year, and it really put itself in a really good position. And yes, I don't care that Jacorian Bennett ultimately got thrown on to win the game for the Chargers. I don't care. This defense did its job. This game is on Aiden O'Connell, the offensive line, offensive play calling, head coach play calling as well. We'll get into that in a second as well. David Long, now, he did have a very early encroachment penalty that negated a Max Crosby, what would have been a 3rd Max Crosby sack, but it is what it is. He bounced back nicely, made some nice plays in coverage. So, hey, we're going to give him a pass, and we're just going to say, hey, man, nice game overall because, hey, it was very good. Fizzouts. I bet you guys know where I'm going with this one. Yeah, Aiden O'Connell. So, we were so excited about this kid. We were hyping him up. We were saying about how special he's going to be and all this stuff, and it just... A lot of rookie mistakes. Now, it wasn't all bad. Overall, he finished the game 24 of 39, 238, and no touchdowns. Did have that pick there to really seal the game for the Chargers. So, it wasn't all bad. There were some throws that you're like, wow, this kid has some cojones. And there were throws that you were still sitting there like, what are you doing? But overall, Aiden O'Connell, it started with holding on the ball. So Khalil Mack, had 6 sacks on Aiden O'Connell, and a lot of it really was Aiden O'Connell holding onto the football. We kind of knew there was going to be growing pains, him holding onto the football, not getting the ball out. It was rough. And we saw it for much of the game. He did bounce back very nicely until the end of the game where he threw the interception, but overall, I mean, he better have learned a lot, because you can't hold on to the football like this in the NFL. You've got to be able to get your reads, or at least have your hot routes checked into. But also, anyone blocking a Khalil Mack, yeah, you're a loser. You're a fizz out, because this was rough. I know that Jermaine Illuminar, who we'll get into in a second here, was one of those guys. But really, this offensive line, it just felt like for most of the game, until really the late in the game there, Aiden O'Connell didn't really have a lot of time. Yes, he was holding the football, but also, I mean, it wasn't like Josh Jacobs ran for 100 yards either. A lot of his yardage was through the air, and him making guys miss in the receiving game. So O-line wasn't great, and anyone blocking Khalil Mack wasn't a great day. So that first drive on defense for the Raiders, I mean, a 50-yard run to really start things off, not great, but hey, they did bounce back. They did really put themselves in a position to win. This is not on the defense in any way, and it overall does suck to say it. That Jacoby Myers crackback block late in the game there, where the Raiders really had some momentum. They were really looking like they were going to put something together there. I don't necessarily think it was a crackback block, because I mean, the guy could see him coming from a mile away, so maybe that's more on the refs. But overall, really, I think it's what it represents. It is penalties for the Raiders. Like, overall, the Raiders, they had way more penalties than the Chargers. 9 penalties for 75 yards compared to 4 for 34. Penalties they just seem to plague this team. It just hurts. You got to cut down on the penalties if you want to win in the NFL. It's that simple. Jermaine Illuminar, how is he still just starting at right tackle? I don't even care. Put Parker in. Take somebody off the street. I don't care at this point, because Jermaine Illuminar just got absolutely just woodshedded against Khalil Mack, and it was rough. That first half run game, both sides, whether it was that 50-yard run to start things out with, or the way of really just establishing the run with Josh Jacobs, not great. Also, late game decision making. This extends from the coaching staff to Aiden O'Connell. Really, I felt like, yes, he had a full week of preparation, or it seemed something like it, but it just, top to bottom, nobody was making good decisions today, and that's ultimately what led to the Raiders' demise. But overall, I understand that this is Aiden O'Connell's first game as a rookie. I'm going to sound a little crazy. I wouldn't mind starting him again. Really wouldn't, because yes, there were some growing pains, but there were also some throws that we don't see from Jimmy Garoppolo. We just don't see him, and he's got some cojones. He had that first rushing touchdown that was great to see. I probably forgot to mention that, but overall, there was some good, there was some bad, and there was some ugly, but overall, there's a lot to build on with a guy like Aiden O'Connell. I'm not giving up hope. I think that this is a learning moment. Hopefully it gives him some fire, and we can move on from this. But that is it. That is our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts for the Las Vegas Raiders against the Los Angeles Chargers, Week 4. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let us know what kind of Coke, or what kind of pop or soda you drink. Is it Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, that Diet Dr. Thunder Great Value brand? Whatever it is, let us know in the comment section below, and overall, let us know what you guys think about the Raiders' loss to the Chargers and our latest edition of Standouts and versus Fizzouts.